Welcome back to No Judge Necessary podcast, where we got the opinions like DC, we're crazy like Gaethje, and we're as high as O'Malley. We're the podcast for fight fans that want to see fists fly and don't want to wait on the judges. I'm your host, Brick, and as always, my cornerman, Nil, and back in studio, Matty P.
Yo.
What up, boys? How we feeling?
We're living, fam.
We're in that part of the year where there's just chaos and fights and sports and everything.
What sports? Well, I'm out of the loop. What's happening besides UFC?
I mean, college football starting back up, NFL next week, baseball's going
next week.
NFL's next week, and then going into like playoff runs for baseball. So starting to get in the swing of things.
Yeah, but this is the lit time of year for fights.
But this is always where like fights like pick it up.
Like every card's gonna start getting heavier.
Yeah, it's just what it be. Like at the end of the summer, they capitalized on the fact that like people still want to chill in July and gather up together, but ain't nobody taking a whole weekend off. So it's just let's get together and buy a fight. People take advantage of the market, and it fucking works. There's always a fire card September, October, November, December every year. The final quarter is one of the best quarters of the year for fight fans. And I'm excited. We came out the heels of the fucking Ultimate Fighter. Like,
I feel like it's low key like Christmas and like tax season coming up. Like everybody always try to get that one more fight before the end of the year. Like everybody always like you gotta get one more in this calendar.
I wonder if the end of the year awards. I wonder if the end of the year awards like mentally factor into fighters. Like, hey yo, I gotta try to get my name out there.
I think also I also wonder financially because I think they have bonuses and they have. I think you get, depending on your contract, you can get like performance bonuses if you make like some of those.
Right, but that's sort of what I'm getting at. That's sort of what I'm getting at. Like one more win gets you more money, more accolades, more fucking everything.
It's not
more juice.
For the lower end fighters, it is the taxes because you don't get paid like a normal person. You get, so you got.
You're only getting paid 3-4 times a year.
Yeah, so if you're asked out right now and you know you got to pay taxes coming up, you're like, fuck, I haven't paid any taxes yet because you got to do that. Like it's not getting taken out already. You got to go pay that. So
right.
It is sad that a company that sold for as many billions as it did still has some fighters that probably fight 3 times a year, probably won one of them, and get about $30,000. That's bad. That's fucking bad, fam. We got to fix that. I don't know.
The minimum was like 15
to show. I've seen some 8 and 8 show and win. So if you go fucking 1 and 2, I mean 16 and 16, you're looking at
$32,000.
Yeah,
before tax. That's where you're from.
Correct. Yeah, but let's be real. I've seen that $8,000 to show, $8,000 to win.
Yeah, you're from Brazil, or like Bryce Mitchell could take his $8,000 back to Arkansas and do fine with it. Like.
Yeah, but shit, that's rough, fam. Considering how much they're gonna make off it, and let's say you don't get a bonus, nothing. Like fuck,
taxes,
that one bonus could be more than what you make in the entire fucking year. That's
I think one of the tough things too is that with it being like always like a 10 to 15 fight card, is there's no way to truly quantify unless you're at the peak top or the main event. There's no way to quantify your specific contribution to the card. You know what I mean? Because like if you try to negotiate and be like, oh well, my pay-per-view did this and that, they're like, oh well, yeah, it wasn't your pay-per-view, it was this guy, it was the headliner, it was the co-main event, or it was that viral knockout or whatever. I feel like they can kind of like always pass the buck and say it wasn't you.
All right, well now that we're getting into pay-per-view numbers, let's fucking talk Woodley versus Paul. We're right there.
We're going right into that.
Yeah, let's hop into that. Fuck it. We were talking pay-per-views and numbers and show. What do you think these guys made? You think this sold, or you think it flopped?
I think it was watched a lot. I don't know how many they sold.
I think the Sunday thing is
wrong.
Was a good idea.
It's wrong,
but it's not helping them in the long run. Maybe the long run. In the super long run, it will be. Maybe they'll make a whole thing out of it.
Right.
But for right now, it is not.
I think,
working.
They should have went a week later and had Labor Day the following Monday, so people would at least stay up. I would not have watched this if I was on the East Coast and that shit was popping off at like 9 p.m. Ain't no chance.
I forgot on a Sunday. Yeah, it's almost like too late in the weekend and stuff. And like to be honest, you have to cater to like we have like dumb monkey sports brains like. Fights are Saturday. You know what I mean? Like, there's things with that. And you know what? I would probably do it if I were perfect of how you want to get the most eyeballs for
on a Sunday.
Paul, yeah, I'm starting that card at about 10 or 11 a.m. and that main event's going to be like 3 or 4 p.m. running right up to the prelims of the UFC. So like anyone, if there's any crossover, you're not losing it, and you're stealing the like initial thunder from the.
Oh no, I'm talking Sunday morning. I'm talking the morning after.
Sunday morning.
People are juiced after the fight just happened last night. They
half
still want
the year
more.
You got to battle with football.
Yeah, because then you're battling with football and stuff.
You're still battling with football as it is.
Exactly, which is ass. I'm more like Rick. I think you go you go in the morning like that. I'm itching for fights before they start. I like that. 12
That's where everyone's like, oh shit,
come on.
And you could appeal to the European audience and actually get Europeans to fuck with
right,
boxing.
you're getting a little more worldwide.
Yeah.
Because now it's a 9 p.m.
Well,
London
let's get it
start.
straight. This isn't boxing.
It's entertainment.
It's sports entertainment. Jake Paul versus Woodley. It is boxing. How is it not boxing? It was sanctioned by professional boxing, by an athletic commission.
Because it's okay. If it's boxing, then it would be like fucking.
It's celebrity rehab boxing, but it's boxing. It's two celebrities just trying to make a name off being celebs, so they'll fight each other because it's an instant 36-minute, or in this case, 24-minute, $2 million payday. So, that's why these shits are happening.
I'm not disagreeing with why it's happening. I'm just saying I'm not calling this real boxing. It's not anything to do with the sport. They're not anything to do with the rankings, anything to do with anything.
So, Jake Paul not a boxer?
He's not a pro boxer, in my opinion.
What does that mean? He gets paid more than anyone to box. He is 1,000% a professional boxer.
Yeah. It's
he makes the most money out of anyone in the
So
sport.
our Harlem Globetrotter players professional basketball players?
Exactly.
Yes, in my mind, yes.
Then he is.
On your definition,
he's the same to me
If
as
you
like
get
Harlem
paid to do
Globetrotter.
something as a sport, you're a professional.
On your definition, yes.
Yeah.
If I beat someone 1-on-1 outside in the park, then I'm a professional and I played him for money, right? I got paid.
No, if you get paid by a team or an organization, if someone else cuts you a check,
that's fair. I just think I think the Harlem Globetrotters are very like good, and I'm not saying it's fake
that's a
like
great comparison.
the Globetrotters. I'm saying it's entertainment and it's outside of the quote unquote, like he said, like the sanctioned sport of it. He's not playing in the NBA. He's not playing in the WBO, which would be like where the professional boxers play. So he's not in their world, in their arena. But if you're saying yes, he is being paid to box.
But just like the Globetrotters, not everyone can do it. Not everyone could just be a Globetrotter.
Correct.
Not everyone could just be a Jake Paul.
Not at all.
No, and there's a circus for that as well. And that's
But what do we think about the fight? It was a split. It was scored kind of weird. What did you think?
I thought it was trash.
I really don't want to. I don't want to buy into the conspiracy theories that have been going on Twitter of like Jake Paul kind of paying these dudes to not kick his ass. But there was a few moments in the Woodley fight that I don't know. Maybe he is a 40-year-old guy who's a little gun shy and this, that, or the other. But I was like, the Woodley that I grew up knowing would have fucking taken a few of those advantages and finished that damn fight, or like at least like put it absolutely on him.
But
like
that's
I
not
feel
the
like
Woodley we've seen in the last 4 or 5 fights. Look, the exact same Woodley that we've seen in his last 4 fights. I think Jake Paul landed more volume, but it didn't do much damage. I think Tyron Woodley literally won maybe 2-3 rounds.
Yeah, no, he didn't do enough. He definitely didn't do enough. And I think
Jake even landed clean that much. Though.
Right. No,
he didn't.
No. Damage-wise, 100% Tyron Woodley. There was about 3 moments in the fight that he put some real damage on Jake Paul. Now, I will give Jake Paul a lot of credit. I didn't know if he could take a punch. He can take a punch. I don't know if he can take a series of punches from like a pro boxer who knows how to truly put someone out
or
in a boxing setting. Or
he don't fight nobody his real weight, and that's his advantage. But again, you want to fight Jake Paul, this is the weight. Otherwise, we'll pick someone else.
Right.
We're
not going to pick someone who's 200.
Yeah, correct. It's all going to
be
be in his advantage because he's the fucking A side in every fight he's going to be in.
Right.
It's good for the sport. I enjoy it.
It's honestly great for the sport, and I'm not completely shitting for it.
It's great for the sport.
It's the only thing that can save the sport.
Especially if people like Amanda Serrano can fight the co-main event, and we have a women's champion. I barely knew who Amanda Serrano was. She beat the hell out of her opponent. I'm excited for her next fight. If they keep doing shit like that, Jake Paul is good for boxing. If they have Nate Robinson versus fucking Aaron Carter as the co-main event, that is bad for the sport of boxing.
Correct. I agree with that.
If they start bringing
what they need to start doing is
Canelo versus Plant.
You got it all backwards.
No, Canelo versus Plant co-main event with Jake Paul headlining. That is great for the sport of boxing.
No,
what do you mean?
It actually is
eyeballs.
At the end of
We
the
need
day,
to start putting.
you gotta be real with.
You're confusing the whole thing.
No.
You're taking the consumer and you're just putting 60 question marks on it.
No,
What
I'm
is
not.
this? This is a
No,
fucking
I'm not.
shit show.
I'm taking great
I'm
level
watching a real
fighters.
sport over here. Okay, now I'm watching the circus clown show.
It's not a
Which
circus.
one's which?
But that's
that
different.
doesn't count.
I'm
But that's
bringing
what it
elite fighters to the eyeballs.
No,
that is the
the
point.
eyeballs are never going to land because they have nowhere to land.
No, they
You're
are going to land
creating a
because
spot where there's no landing.
No.
You got them there for Jake Paul,
And they're going to see
And they're
Javante
gonna see
Davis
Bill Watson
and be
stay.
like,
And
whoa.
they're not going to stay.
Yes, they are.
And you're going to confuse them because now
There are
they're
going to be
think,
4 or 5 fights max, and the first 4 fights are going to be Javante Davis against fucking somebody legit,
You got
and
it
then we're
wrong.
going to see. No,
I think so. I think you gotta keep them separate. I think it could be good for a sport of boxing as far as just
well,
No,
I'll tell you
I'm
this
with-
right now: with Jake
If
Paul
he-
signing
if
with
he
Showtime,
switches-
we're going to continue this way.
if
If
he
he's with
switches
Triller, it
and
goes back to
starts-
that dog
if-
shit.
If Jake says, "Hey," or Logan Williams says, "Hey, I'm gonna start. Let's knock at the door of these top 15 in the 190 or whatever they're fighting. Let's get a top 15."
they're not going to do that.
Nope.
Not until he's.
Then it's not good for the sport of boxing.
Yeah, it is. You know what his next
Because
fight's going to be?
the
Jorge
point is-
Masvidal. He's going to fight
the point
Masvidal. And
How is
then-
this helping
It's
That's
helping
not
main
boxing
event
because a fan like
I'm
me,
not gonna watch more boxing because of that. I'm
but
gonna watch that fight bootleg randomly on the fucking phone, and I'm like, "Oh, that was kind of shitty." And I'm gonna call it a day. That's
Right.
not gonna make me go and watch any of the other fights.
maybe.
I might watch Amanda Serrano fight now because I'm a kind of fight. I'm a kind of fan of
I
boxing.
didn't even watch it. I only watched the main event. It popped up. I was like, "Oh, main event's
Right.
bam."
So I'm not saying
But
that
there's
it's
a
like,
giant
but
audience
there
that
are a
will
lot
put
of
on the whole
people.
card and be
Right.
like, damn, these people are nice. And I didn't know that.
This world is now bam, bam, bam with attention. They're not
Yeah.
trying to watch that. They're trying to watch their main event, bam, and that's what they're going and signing them for.
But then you could say the same about UFC. Anytime Brock Lesnar or someone big comes
It's true.
over, people only watch the main event.
Why,
no one
why
cares.
the numbers
That's
stay at
not good.
2.4? Why is
That's
numbers
not good for the sport of
1 to
UFC
2
when Brock
million?
Lesnar
It's good
crossed
for that.
over.
It's good for that pay-per-view.
But it's not good for the sport.
It's okay. That one, yeah. That's a difference.
How's it
That's
different?
Because he actually came into the sport and became a champion and fought top contenders in the division. That's a huge difference. If
I don't
Jake
know.
Paul did that, then I would be on that side.
I see it
Okay.
from my perspective
Dude,
because
But it's just
Brock
eyeballs.
Lesnar did exactly what I'm saying.
Where
Jake
I
Paul
see
did.
it-
14 million
And
people don't
Brock
watch this
Lesnar's
card.
the worst example you could have said.
No.
I mean how I
It's
see
a
it
celeb
is
coming
honestly
Because
in.
that's what I'm saying. No, because he came in and fought top contenders in the organization and won and became the champion. That is deserving of all that.
right.
That is good for the sport.
No, that's not just.
That's
if
not-
CM
that's
Punk
not-
would be.
that-
CM Punk
now
would be a
imagine-
closer.
Now, if Brock Lesnar was fighting Kimbo Slice in a whole different league of their own, and you're saying, "Oh, this is good for the UFC," how?
It's good, bro.
Because if the UFC
Because
was
some
dying
random
and no one
people
was
will-
watching MMA,
It is okay. It's slightly good. You're going to get some people. It's not amazing. It's
Bro.
not what you. It's not a home
No,
run.
but
it's
If
not a home
12 to,
run.
How I
if
look
12
at
to
it, if
14
they
million
started-
people are watching the sport of boxing, I
if they
can't see how
started
that's
if they
bad.
started putting better fights with Jake Paul, like a fan like me, because I don't love boxing, but I do like it, and it's one of those things that like I don't go out of my way to find it a lot of times. So if there happens to be a title fight on ESPN or I happen to catch it and I see a fighter that I like or is very talented, I will look out for them. But otherwise, I don't really look for it.
Yeah, I
So
didn't
if
know
now
Pacquiao
I
fought
come
the
in-
other week.
If I come exactly, I have
But
no
if
idea.
he's on
a Jake
but
Paul
if he was
co-main,
on a
you're
Jake
watching
Paul co-main, now it's like okay, everyone's gonna watch it, and now I might look out for that guy who's, his next fight, he's more marketable because 2 million people have seen him fight. Now, not all 2 million of those are going to go and watch boxing again, but if you can get an extra 200,000 out of that, that's growing the sport. In a sport that's not growing,
You're
because
telling
like
me
you said,
that
we didn't even know
Jake
Pacquiao
Paul
was
opening
fighting.
this lane of TikTokers fighting YouTubers is bad for the sport. Everybody trying to box right now for money. How is that bad for the sport?
Because that's what everyone's watching. Instead, who do you know any of the top 5 in any division?
Nope. I could name
Right, and that's our
We've
point.
watched more boxing than we have in years because of this TikTok.
but now I'm
shit.
interested.
But and I can't tell you any more boxers I could have told you a year or two ago. It has not helped me. I have not learned anything about sport. I've watched all the shit. I've watched the whole circus.
I could name
I
Because
watched
they
the
haven't-
circus roll
they
in.
haven't
I
about
watched
20
the circus
bucks.
roll in, set
They
up
haven't-
shop, and perform.
They
3
haven't
times,
fully bought in
5
on
times.
our idea. Is where we're putting true top level boxers with Jake Paul. I think if you start
I watched
seeing
the
that,
clown show. I missed Pacquiao. I forgot. How does that happen? I've watched all the clown shows. I didn't know Pacquiao happened.
that's our exact point. Is that
It's not
the
growing.
sport is in the toilet and it's not growing. So we need to find a way to get it to be growing. And if
what
the only
you're
eyeball,
doing
if
is
the
not
only
working, then why
if
would
the
you?
only eyeballs
I
are
think
on this
it's working.
clown show, then
It's
we
not.
need to add to the clown show.
We haven't been watching any more boxing, and we've been watching the circuit. So how is it working? I guess maybe it's too immediate.
It's still new.
It's still more
still
time.
new, and like
But
half the
Me
fights are
personally
on
am more
show and
interested in
stuff.
boxing.
Yeah.
As these fights happen, like if there was a boxing card on next weekend at professionals that I knew about, I'd probably tune in. I'm dead serious. It's made me more interested in boxing, especially trying to see
Like, I don't
whether or
know if
not
it's
this
an
cat can
immediate
fight.
flip.
I'm like breaking it down. Like I enjoy boxing a lot
It's
more.
not an immediate flip.
I wish I knew more about boxing. I'm
It's
sad I don't.
You know what? It's helping UFC more than it's helping boxing.
Yeah, because you call it out UFC.
He's
guys.
only fighting UFC fighters.
Right.
It's not even helping boxing. It's helping the UFC. And I will
All right, well, let's
die
hop
on that.
Let's hop into some
You
UFC.
guys-
Let's get back to it.
Let's recap
Let's get back
last
to
week.
it.
They're
This is a
tipping.
UFC
I love
podcast.
this.
Let's do it.
Live in the studio, live in the flesh.
I know.
Let's go over last
That
week.
if he gets
Bullshit.
fucking one drink in him and comes back in the studio and
It's
he comes
helping the
with fire.
UFC. It's not helping boxing.
I am boxing.
Dana White's sitting back like, I don't even know what the fuck the president of boxing. I don't think there is one. There's like 17 of them probably.
Yeah, the WBO, the WB. I mean, boxing's a shit show. So that's where I'm saying if boxing's a shit show, they're not getting views, and this is getting views. They need to find out a way to utilize it. I don't know if they're doing it right yet, but they need to find a way to do it.
You know who's helping the sport of boxing? It's Tyson Fury. If someone unifies everything like that, that's
That's
a big
what I'm
fucking
saying.
deal.
But if
Jake's not unifying anything. He's making a whole nother. He's probably gonna make a new belt. He's probably gonna make it worse.
yeah, but if you can then put Tyson Fury and Jake Paul together and somehow combine
Oh
those
my
massive
God.
fan bases, that's how you can
All
actually.
right, let's move on, dude. You guys are tripping.
Right, we're going in
Let's move on.
circles. Recap of a big card: Barbosa, Chikadze, the
I don't
Ultimate
want
Fighter
to talk about
finale.
I gotta tell you guys something.
Okay, where do we start?
I put in a parlay
Okay.
Oh boy.
that was I think like 4 or 5, and it was let me think. It was JJ.
That's a good.
It was what was the guy who beat the dentist Stewart?
Justin Jacoby.
Dustin Jacoby. Who's the guy that knocked out the Italian guy?
Razak.
I put that him
Yep.
to knock him out.
I got that plus money too. I made good money off that fight.
Then
actually.
I also put Kevin Lee and D-Rod going the distance.
Okay, that's good. That's 4.
And then my last one was Edson Barbosa. And if I would have won that, it would have been 20 to win like $800.
Oh shit! Oh, because you had a couple plus guys in there. Like I think Barbosa had plus
And that
money.
knockout was like plus 2.
Yeah, Razak was like plus
So
2.
I
That was a
plus
crazy
50.
KO.
Oh my
17
God.
seconds, bro.
I knew it was gonna happen. I should just
Bro.
bet on that. But
What's his name? Yeah, Alessio Di Chirico. Bro,
Fuck,
he
dude.
leaned into that. This man's bob left, head kick right on the
Bah.
dome and row. That shit was fucking mental.
I didn't know Razak had that kind of athleticism. Like that was a
Not
quick,
seeing his other
clean.
knockouts.
I mean,
Yeah.
I know,
Oh,
but
but
like,
not a kick like
that's
that.
what I'm saying. Like getting,
Yo, you hear the
getting
story
leg
with his
up
son?
like that. I knew he
His
had
son
it.
called him and was like, "Dad, the fuck is you losing, bro? But why is you losing?"
Yeah.
And
He's
his dad was
like,
like,
"I'm done
"Oh
with this
shit."
shit. Like we're done with this shit."
Jacoby quick knockout though. That was kind of impressive. I didn't see it coming like
I
that.
knew
Yo,
he was gonna beat him.
By the way, did you see it? Darren the Dentist Stewart cut by the UFC.
Really?
Cut, done with the UFC.
I mean, yeah, kind of fair.
I mean, he made what, second team all COVID for us? Like he worked his ass off. I thought they would give
And
him
he's
a
been
few
active
more-
as a
he's
motherfucker.
been active as a motherfucker, and I thought they would kind of like. I thought coming out of 2020, they would be a little nicer to some of the guys who kind of like, hey, you got us through a tough time. You fought in front of no fans, win, lose, or draw. Like, you got us some shits, but they're bringing down the axe.
Yeah, but
I mean, I'm not
losses,
saying-
Two of them
three
were
losses in a
Anders.
no contest.
Two of them were in the Anders situation.
Yeah, correct.
Right.
But 3 losses in a no contest, and you got the contender series just starting up. Like, fuck. yeah, you're definitely going to cut a guy because you know you're going to replenish it like that.
But I get excited seeing him on those.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I
don't disagree with you. I'm just trying to play the other side of
No, I agree.
And let's be real, this could be a Tai Tuivasa situation where this isn't the last we see of the dentist.
Yeah, because it wasn't a big announcement either.
I just caught it on Twitter. I think Marcelo Dorf had it. Like, I just caught it, like, passing in Twitter. It wasn't even, like, a big thing. I didn't see it anywhere else, but it was just like, Darren Stewart.
That's crazy. Y'all see the Wellington Thurman, Sam Alvey.
Let's go.
Was it
how happy are you guys?
Wait, hold up. Wasn't there 2 points deducted?
Correct.
Wellington Thurman got 2 points.
2 points. Hey,
2 points.
Can y'all at least admit?
He still fucking beat him.
Can y'all at least
still
admit
won?
Sam should have won.
No. He lost 3 rounds. This cat can't win a fucking round. He got given 2 points. Wellington Thurman fought dirty. I'm not going to hate that, but I don't give a fuck. I hate Sam Alvey. Fuck Sam Alvey. And any dog that wants to get in there and kick him in the dick and still get a dubski. Like, they took 2 points. This guy has nothing to complain about. If you can't win 1 fucking round while getting 2 points, like, I was like, oh, it must be a draw. He must be able to get something. And this cat can't get shit. Sam Alvey's trash. I'm so glad. He was trying to just
Nobody
like that
takes
smile
fighting
off
more
his face
serious
and
than
he
me,
missed
kid.
it. You know, hit him in the eye.
You can't win a fucking round. You got 2 points deducted from your opponent, and you still lost, and you claim nobody takes fighting more serious than you. Get out of here, dude. That was great. I had the time of my life.
I was watching that.
I hope he just doesn't.
I do not like Sam Alvey.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't get cut just because I want him here to hate. Like,
what the fuck? They must have him on he must have taken like a 12-fight contract or some shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
His
he had
contract
that
doesn't make
weird
sense.
he had a weird that he won like 2 out of 3, and he must have just signed like another 5-fight deal right after that last one.
Bro, he's lost 6 straight fights.
It's 6?
Fuck out of here.
Let's go.
He's lost to Marquez, Ryan Spann, Klidson Abreu, Jimmy Crute, Antonio Nogueira, and Wellington Thurman.
That's not even like a great list. Like, it's not like, oh shit. Like,
the fact that I stumbled on
gauntlet.
Klidson Abreu just shows you the level that we're at.
Sam Alvey. Fuck out of here.
D-Rod beating up on Kevin Lee. What'd y'all think of that fight? That was kind of cool.
I knew it, and I gotta start betting.
I'm a D-Rod guy now.
I'm a big D-Rod guy.
I disproved it. I'm in. The prison toughness, the fact that he just sort of like,
and I will say,
he's not
he was in prison.
Yeah, that's where he got like into fighting.
Really?
He got into like prison fights and shit.
Yeah.
The thing is, to me, he's not elite at anything, but he's very good everywhere, and that's a problem.
And that's a problem.
I think his boxing is elite in that division.
I would say everything is just below elite, like very good.
I think he can outbox
a lot of people.
The top.
I don't know.
You're right.
I just don't look at him and be like, yo,
it's not like that Wonder Boy precision. Like,
no, but if you signed him up against Gilbert Burns, I'd be like,
yeah.
Oh shit.
But if he's going up against Wonder Boy Thompson, I think he's trying to shoot for takedowns. Right. So I think he's just well-rounded and can do it all.
Right.
That's what I'm trying. Like, does that make any sense?
The big thing with me is I got to start listening to No Judges Necessary.
I don't think you go into every fight
because Rick said it on it, where it's like every single time that I start to just like doubt D-Rod, he proves me wrong, and he just fucking runs through some dude. Like, at some point, you got to stop like thinking it's a mistake.
Well,
like,
here's the thing: when I like a fighter, and I like Kevin Lee. So I like both of these guys. So that's why on that spot I was like, fuck, because I didn't want either of them to lose.
Oh yeah, and I think in the style that Kevin Lee lost, like I don't think he lost much stock.
Nah,
like he's kind of where he's at.
Hot take: Kevin Lee to 1 championship. Because then he don't have to cut weight, and I think that's his biggest problem. He can't find a weight class right now.
He can get back at a natural weight. Get his hydration right.
I think
Kevin Lee
think about what Kevin Lee
won championship.
Kevin Lee's biggest problem is his head.
Yeah, but
and that's the thing. You get him the fuck out of here. No. You get him over to Asia. You get him into Singapore. Like,
you can't quit running. He's been running to this division, running to that division, running to there. You don't keep running.
What do you mean?
Kevin Lee won championship.
He can't
fight up Ryu right now. No. That's a sick fight.
Yes,
I'd rather see that.
Think about those
Eddie Alvarez.
Think about Kevin Lee
right now.
Think about those custom fight kits. Bro,
Bro.
give me those.
All right, I'm fucking down.
Kevin Lee to
Alright,
1 makes way more sense.
I'm down for a lot of fights going to 1, but I want them to do it in a manner of like a flock.
Like 4.
Like
we're sending over.
So
a
like
few
team
guys.
elevation is like 3
Yeah.
dudes from here is just like, yo, we're out, we're going to 1.
yeah, like that would be clean to me. I would like
That would
I
be
see
kinda
what you're
sick.
saying. It would be clean.
or even if
And like mob over.
No, even if the UFC did this, like this would be a cool marketing move. If you didn't do it, because obviously the UFC doesn't want to do a promotion, UFC verse 1, bam.
Right.
No.
But if you said, hey, we're gonna send our UFC little agents over to 1 and send like
On a
5 of them
one-fight deal,
over on
maybe?
a 1 to 3 fight deal, and then just go wreck shit, and then just bring them right back.
What about
that would
this?
be bad.
Hey, what about this? This is a way. I mean,
People
maybe-
say that shit will never happen, but UFC and 1 are the only
I was gonna
likely
say this
ascendant
is tough because
they're the only ones that'll be big enough.
And 1
Because
same
1
way.
dominates
Dude,
Asia,
that's what
so
I'm
they
saying.
it could happen, but it
I
won't
was gonna
because
say
Dana's a prick.
if
But
one
go on.
was ever willing to give up a piece of the pie of those pay-per-views back to game, like kick something back, how sick would it be if they put some into these Grand Prix? Like, hey, like you said, on a 1 to 3 fight deal, that's a 1 to 3 fight deal because it's a tournament. So
And
you're not
Dan
committed
doesn't
to
have to
the
risk any
division.
top guys. Don't risk any you don't have to risk any
Ooh.
So
So
top
send
this guy-
Shane
so hold
Burgos.
up. So hold up a second. So in theory, we send Shane Burgos from the UFC to
Why
one
happen with
championship.
Shane
I don't know.
Burgos?
It just
No,
seems
no,
I
like
didn't
he
get
seems
me
like
said. I
he
didn't get
seems
me
like a
said.
mid.
All right,
I'm
this
down,
is
I'm
an
down,
example.
I'm down.
Example. We're sending him there for the featherweight. We're sending him there for the featherweight tournament. We're sending him there for the featherweight tournament, and the hope is that he goes there and becomes a star on Asia and comes back to the UFC with some notoriety. Is that the
The
plan?
hope is
Is that the plan?
Yeah.
I'm asking a question.
The ultimate thing.
So you're saying yes? I think.
And not only that, but it also
what does it do for 1?
no, that's the problem. Either way, either if 1 did this or UFC did this, I'm not
The
picking.
winner gets all the steam.
But yeah, if you send a couple guys into UFC, take a 1 to 3 fight deal, but it would be better in 1 from the UFC stance because you
Right.
probably take less fights to get higher.
Yeah.
But
Right.
then if you wreck shit in 3 fights and you're at the top in 1, then
'Cause I was thinking-
and then
because
you just
the
dip
grand-
out,
And then it's
Well,
a bidding war.
and then
well,
you're
here's
like,
the
oh
thing,
shit.
is the Grand Prix usually gets a title shot. So maybe if that guy goes in, you can then get the super, like, hey, we won your Grand Prix, and now we're going to fight your champion. And then we're going to take the title, vacate it, and go back to the UFC.
Or
Fuck
the one if they did it the other way, where
Right,
one did
either
the
way.
same thing,
Yeah,
came
exactly.
up, got the
No,
belt,
but
did
I like
that.
where your head's at. The UFC
There's
is send
something
random
there.
people. It's
Well,
like
yeah.
a prospect thing.
Yeah.
It's almost like contender
Exactly.
series.
We're not going to send, or maybe we send someone who's a little stuck, like a Leon Edwards or a Wonder Boy, who like is not quite in our title contention. They've sort of fought everyone, but
Yeah, that'd be
we
lit.
did. I think
Fucking
there's some
McMahon's
potential
having
there.
to pick. Imagine dudes have to fight to go there.
And they
Like,
don't
yo,
even know what
winners
they're
going
fighting
on.
for.
Yeah, and it's just
Yeah.
like behind the scenes.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
Till Brunson,
It's like
main event,
Dan.
like winners going over.
Right.
Like, you know?
Hey, you said the magic words. Are we
Are
gonna
we-
get into
is
it?
it-
we
no,
gotta
hold
recap
up.
main event and the
And
Ultimate
the
Fighter.
Ultimate Fighter finale.
Yeah.
Touch it.
We
Jesus.
didn't even touch
And
it.
the Ultimate Fighter finales.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ricky Tercio's Brady.
Well, all right. Well, let's
Beast
start
Ends.
at the top. What the fuck? I thought
Okay.
Giga was gonna meet his match here. It was Barbosa. I
So-
showed it.
You know what I'm pissed? This is honestly kind of what was initially in my head. I thought Giga was going to be a little sharper, a little more powerful, and just have a little more fun.
powerful. I thought. For
You just, I know. You too. That's the
Yo,
fucking problem.
Yo, listen.
You two were like, it's levels to this shit.
Yeah.
Barbosa got that power, all this shit.
No. I said it would
I
be
was
levels to
thinking
this shit on Barbosa, and guess what happened? Giga showed there's levels to this shit.
Right.
It's not.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
that to me is
the
what happened.
raging question is, can he deal with Max? And I'm a huge Max fan, so of course I'm gonna say no. But I'm scared to
The
know.
kicking element really changes that because has Max really fought a guy with a heavy kicking stance in their prime that actually does it? And that's who?
Pettis.
Okay, that's fair. And he sort of
In his
dominated
prime.
him. But that's like
Show.
a
And-
comparable. But you know what I'm
and
trying to say?
People
Like,
kind of
I
say that
feel
was
like
the
I pick
quote
up.
unquote end of Pettis' prime.
right, the fact that
Like,
it doesn't come immediately makes
Right.
me think that this could be a wrinkle that kind of gives a problem.
Yeah,
And
and
it's different.
I want
That's
to
all.
see where
He could
Max's
probably
head
still
is after
dominate
this
him.
whole trilogy shit.
Well, he just beat the brakes off Cater.
Right.
Yeah. He's gonna come in feeling nice.
Like,
he's gonna come in feeling nice and swaggy, light on the feet, bro. He's gonna be a monster in that fight against Giga.
I'm
the question is gonna be, if Giga lands body kicks, does it change?
Yeah,
does
I think
it
the
change
body
the fight?
and the leg kicks are gonna change.
He's gonna land kicks. The question is, will it change the fight? It clearly changed the Barbosa fight.
Here's the things that happen with Max. Is Max just puts the type of volume on you that makes elite strikers can't strike.
Yeah, you can't strike.
You are
because you're trying to counter, but there's no stop to. There's no break to counter.
I wonder if Max, if he closes that, he's already bigger. He's bigger than him. He's probably longer. If he closes that distance and keeps it a tight phone booth fight with tons of volume, can Giga even use his kicks to the way that
it's a massive question.
Right.
And so that's where
that's not even a guarantee that this fight happens.
I'm like, don't even throw it into Max yet.
This ain't even a guarantee this fight happens.
I kind of want to, and as impressive of a performance that
was, Yair and Giga.
That performance was for the UFC fans. I think we need a couple more, one or two more fights for the casuals to know how good Giga is before we get the Max fight.
We need Yair versus Giga and the Max versus winner of the fight. Is how I see it.
Or even Cater. If Cater needs a fight, that would be electric too. That would be the ultimate striking fight. Because that's another.
I think you give Cater Barbosa.
Yeah, both coming off the loss. I don't hate that.
And that's a fucking scrap.
Oh, absolutely. That's just hands on hands. Like,
that's a fucking
just scrap. Because Cater's going to take a few from Barbosa. And Barbosa's going to take a lot from Cater.
It's like it almost reminds me of a Gaethje Barbosa type of fight.
Yeah. Y'all see the Tercios high stand fight? That was a scrap.
Dude, that surprised me. I thought Brady was going to have more from him, but kind of like I said, Ricky's just weird. And I think kind of maybe in a Max type way, early
Ferguson.
Or Tony, more
he's Tony Ferguson, bro.
Yeah, just he's just a fucking
our boy
savage.
Mo hit me up instantly and was like, this cat Ricky's awkward and weird. I fuck with him. And I was like, yep, I feel it. That's all there is to it.
And you know what? Volk saw it in him. Volk was his coach, and he kind of said it every time in the when he was gonna fight and stuff. He's just this fucking guy Ricky brings the fucking energy. He always learns, and he just does him. And he's even. And you know, it's something that he said that kind of stuck with me, and it's a minor line, but I notice it a lot. The very good fighters in a lot of the Ultimate Fighters, when the coach says, we're not trying to change them, we're just trying to add a few little things, those are the elite fighters. You know what I mean? And the only three fighters I really heard that from was Battle, Gore, and Ricky. Those were the three fighters that they said that the coaches said it about.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not trying to change them. Everyone else, it was hey, I'm trying to make sure we're not getting taken down, make sure we're not doing this. Those three guys were the guys that were just hey, I'm going to let him do him, but we're just going to try to add this tool, that tool, and sharpen this, And I think Ricky's got something to at least stay in the UFC. I don't know if he'll ever be elite.
Doesn't it seem like this?
He's going to
emerge.
Were
all kind of ass compared to maybe they all seem this way every time because they're young and they're coming up. But some of these dudes work on the old actually. But
I think Battle against Trayshawn Gore.
None of them seem like
UFC fighters. Trayshawn Gore against a Battle. That to me was an actual UFC fight.
Yeah. Right.
And I think Battle washing Urbina with a rear naked choke early in the second made it look like Battle isn't that good because he didn't get to show himself. No disrespect to Urbina in any sense. Tough fight in battles. But I don't think Battle's got to show himself.
Battle and Gore, I think,
are levels ahead of everyone else.
I think they are UFC
ready. Whether or not their title
ready. Nobody's UFC really ready right away. I feel like that. I don't know.
They're ready for. They're ready for
what
guys.
What division is this against?
185.
It's 185 for.
They're ready for guys ranked
Tercios is at what?
That is a fact.
Is it 45 or 35?
They're not ready for a 15.
No, I think they need 2 non-ranked fights.
Yeah, is he gonna fight Gastelum or something?
I think they're ready for guys. Okay, maybe 15's a little too high. 17 to 23. You're telling me they're not there?
Maybe.
I don't even know who's at that, but
I'm pulling up the rankings right now just to see like who's at.
Who's ranked 17th in the fucking middleweight division?
I don't think so. At the middleweights, so Kelvin, no, they're not ready for like the back end. Brad Tavares, Kevin Holland, Andre.
I'm not saying that. Keep going. Who's after that?
That's as much as the UFC actually ranks out.
Up till 15?
Yeah, let me see. I could get it off Tapology probably.
No, fuck all that noise.
But yeah.
I don't know.
So
I think I want to see Brian Battle fight Trayshawn Gore when he's healthy. That's a fight to make. Dana said Trayshawn Gore is going to get a shot. Like, he has to.
And honestly, why not?
And they always all get shots. Like, half the time you see these guys in the UFC later, you're like, hey, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's the point. Honestly, I will say, wasn't impressed with Andre Petrosky.
No.
As much as, he dominated that fight, he's a good wrestler. I don't think he's a UFC fighter.
He dominated a guy that's a Brit with heavy hands who wants to throw him. And he's not much of anything else. He's kind of a pug fighter in a sense. It works in some ways because it's pressure, it's constant action.
Right.
Yeah, sure. You can back people up and melt them that way. But guys that are going to shoot for takedowns, you're going to have your time. Yeah, he doesn't have much there. And we all sort of knew that off the show. And the fact that he just sort of sat on him, I don't really care.
No.
And it didn't do much.
Yeah, he gets a dub. He'll probably get another.
Eventually, you're going to meet your match where that wrestling don't work, fam.
Yeah, when that takedown gets stopped.
You're not as smooth as Khabib. You're not on that
even
level.
Even though he got the finish in the second round, he still did not look like the gas tank was that much better.
No.
That was his whole thing. He's like, hey, the show was weird. I know I had a problem with the gas tank. I'm going to prove it tonight and stuff. And I was like
7 minutes.
But in my eyes, that's just an excuse because if you're in the house, you're constantly in shape, fam. You don't know when you're fighting, so you're staying ready all the time. The fact that you gas out is ridiculous to me.
Well, I guess
it depends on the season.
On his season, he was like, these stocks full of beer. We're trying to get us to drink all the time, so it would spark conflict, so they'd have good content.
Yeah, I think the earlier Ultimate Fighters, because the UFC was trying to grow, so they were trying to do a reality TV show. Now they realize we're it's more us watching it. It's fans of the sport, and we want to see up and coming fighters, not a reality, not the real world challenge. And
all I gotta say, I like Contender Series a hell of a lot more.
Oh, so much fucking better.
Right, the Contender Series is so much more lit. It's the Ultimate Fighter in fucking 2.5 hours. Right, literally. But guys I've never heard of.
I think there's a world.
Give me your background story. No. I'm telling you right now, I'm big out on the Ultimate Fighter compared to Contender Series.
I think the Ultimate Fighter needs to be first off, you can't do two divisions because I'm out
on this 2 division thing.
Confused, and it's only 2 wins to the finals, and I don't like that.
So it's not a hard enough.
It's not. No,
it's not a big enough turn.
Nah.
Fuck the 2 divisions, and then I don't even. Everyone loses value. Because I'm all right, well,
because even look at a Gilbert Urbina, and obviously he lost his fight, so he's not going to get it. But he won 1 fight, lost a fight, someone got injured, and now he's in the finale. And it's this is way too quick, way too bullshit.
Yeah, I don't like it. I really don't like it.
There's not enough, and there's not enough matchmaking either, because there's so much we see it especially in the beginning of the UFC.
Yeah, when the coaches pick the next fights, think about how much argument there was back in the day. Yeah. Now it's easy because there's 2 options.
Yeah, exactly. When they did the semifinals, even Dana said it. He was like, oh, this is going to be the most contentious. They're all pissed at each other that Volk made the thing going back. And they literally were just well, this guy should fight this guy should fight that guy. That seemed cool with y'all? All right, cool. No problem. There was just no, definitely. If you're gonna
I want to keep it because I like more things to watch from.
And what I think,
correct.
So keep it, but
the content's better.
Not 2 divisions.
The big thing is that I still always love the UFC fighters and coaches interacting with the up and coming talent.
Yes,
I think that, and then you see those relationships later in whether they're relationships or rivalries or whatever. Cody immediately was in the mix because he talked shit with McGregor and all
that.
One
division, bro.
One division for sure.
That's all they got to fix. All right, let's hop into some pre-fight diaries, yeah?
Oh, wait. Nilly Newcomer of the Week?
Oh, yeah.
We got a newcomer? Who's
the
guy?
All right, so I actually got an interesting one this time.
Uh-oh.
So I picked somebody that's not even he's not even in MMA, but he's transitioning. He's on his way.
So he's very new.
Yes, Roman Bravo Young. 2-time NCAA Division I champion out of Penn State. Also was the runner-up at the Pan American Games in 2018 for the U23s. This kid is an absolute beast. 133-pound wrestler. Been training a lot with Frankie and the boys in Las Vegas. What is this gym? I gotta figure this out. I'm sorry.
Okay. So he's with like the Hickman brothers and them.
Yeah, in Vegas.
Gotcha. See, I think that's going to be a big thing. Not to cut you off while you're do your research, but side tangent. Now with the Hickman brothers being in Vegas,
there's only
I think they're. I know, but just a
Frankie's
brother,
at Syndicate. Yeah, he's training at Syndicate MMA.
This whole Syndicate MMA, I think
Frankie's the perfect adjustment for D1
they have
wrestler.
the backing of Tiger Muay Thai and CKB, so like they're proven in the MMA game. And now they have all the connections to U.S. wrestling. I think they're going to start being the new like ATT, that they're going to be the entrance for all these Division I wrestlers that want to become MMA fighters. Because I think Frankie is at the top of the level of wrestling MMA. I think there's other coaches that have had wrestlers who, they're great wrestlers and have a big right. I think Frankie going, and the Hickman brothers going over to CKB and going over to Tiger Muay Thai have really understood how to blend wrestling, which mostly
MMA.
Wrestling in MMA, they've realized is defense. That's
I
what
was
biggest thing.
just about to say, it's like, none of them have really been wrestling anybody.
That's
so let's
the point.
Take it easy here.
No,
and I will give them credit because they all usually do have some pretty good takedown defense, but let's not pretend like they're all A-plus wrestlers now.
No, they're not.
No.
I'm just bringing you Roman Bravo Young, who's a two-time D1
I know,
champion.
we're getting a whole other debate.
You're getting in a whole different debate here.
And I'm
I
not
don't give
even
a fuck.
saying
You're taking away from Roman Bravo Young. He's the fucking newcomer.
Yeah, he's not a wrestler like that, is what I'm talking about. He's not making wrestlers like that.
No. I'm not even saying
like
that he's
years.
making those guys into elite wrestlers. I'm saying that he's the guy that is bringing wrestling into the real MMA world. Not just with the city kickboxing and the Muay Thai. Like, they're understanding how to actually blend wrestling into the MMA world versus some of these old school MMA coaches that were bringing wrestlers in and just teaching them how to box a bit. Give them a little bit of boxing and hope they have a right. And then
I like the trajectory of this kid, bro.
But back onto your newcomer. Sorry for the tangent.
I mean, he's just a unit. So.
At 135, I mean,
he
stack.
Well, he wrestled at 133, so it could even be fucking 25.
Right.
Either way, those
I think a bit
could use wrestlers.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of a zig where they zag type fighter, where most of the fighters right now in those two divisions are like quick strikers, and if they're grapplers, they're more from a jiu-jitsu background than really a true wrestling background. So could that just? I mean, you're seeing even what like a Ricky Simone is doing right now in those kind of divisions, like just with bringing like some chain wrestling and some energy. So if you can bring some true power and real high quality wrestling.
Oh, geez.
Oh, this guy throwing the crazy shits.
Oh yeah.
Oh Jesus, this guy's an athlete.
Let's see. I can't wait to see how his hands are.
Right. Yeah. Now let this guy start throwing some out.
And
let that be a
Dominic
head
Cruz
kick.
says best in the world.
Dom Cruz is saying the best in the world. And this guy, I know you couldn't see the video we have. Maybe we'll throw it up on our Twitter. But this guy's basically like, they're catching his leg and he's doing like backflips to get takedowns.
But yeah, that's
if
my
you can do that kind of flip and now you can land that heel to the chin, that might be a different thing. But I like that newcomer. One last time on that name.
Roman Bravo Young.
Roman Bravo Young, look out for him out of Penn State, USA wrestler. We into some pre-fight diaries?
Yes,
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yo,
First
I
fight, what do
fucking
we
love
got?
this card.
I
love this card. The theme of this card is Europe, and that's why I love it. I'm finna get me some. Yeah, this is for the last. Yeah, this is those two dudes, the two UK guys in the alley that were beefing over each other.
That was the prelims.
Yeah.
If y'all didn't see that video of the two guys in the alley, one was talking shit and one was beating ass. That's
the theme of this card was injuries and fucking Europe because a lot of fights got canceled. But let's get into it.
Normally, when a fight card has a bunch of cancellations, I'm like pissed. But somehow, some way, this fight card, like a bunch of fights got canceled.
It still makes sense.
It's just like it's tight. I saw it 10 fights. It's just money. Like I'm not saying I'm gonna make money. I hope I do. But
I think I may go fucking the biggest I've gone in a while. Since I lost the Uriah Hall Strickland. Yeah, and we all know these fights that are on the card, so it wouldn't be a big deal if I said it now.
Oh yeah, you can.
Basically, I think I want to throw on Till and Paddy Pimlet together.
Woo, the scouser parlay.
Yo, let's get it.
The
The big
scouser.
scouser.
And I want to throw like 350.
Oh, jeez. Okay,
Go
300.
big.
Oh, I thought you meant like $3.
No, 350,
Nah,
maybe
just fucking
400 on that thing because I don't know. I believe
All right, let's get into it. First fight, we got Jonathan Martinez, 13-4
This
out of the
fight's
USA, taking on Marcelo Rojo, 16-7 out of Argentina. Marcelo Rojo just sounds like he's playing the wrong sport.
He's a left back at Atletico Madrid.
You guys say this every time.
Yeah,
I know.
He sounds like a soccer player, and I can't take that.
No.
I'm not betting you to fight.
No, but he
sounds like a
fucking
soccer
gets
player.
it in scraps. This fight, when I saw this, I was like, "Holy shit! This is the first card the first fight."
Oh, this is a banger.
This might get fight of the night.
Yo, this fight not going the distance.
I don't
know.
That's the pick. This fight ain't going the distance. This that card where the first fight does not finish.
I believe it.
Trust.
I believe
This
this fight is going to be insane. I could see it going over a round for sure, but
That fight, I'm telling you. It's not going the distance. Jonathan Martinez lost to Davey Grant on some punches. Rojo
And he
coming
was
off a
looking
loss
nice, too.
to Charles
Yeah, he
Jourdain.
was looking pretty
Yeah,
good.
but that's
They
the
were both
point. They're
looking
both going
nice.
to go at it. Like,
Oh yeah.
they're just going to come forward and start slugging. Somebody's going down.
And
Especially
for,
at 135, too.
For some odds on the Barstool Sportsbook, we
Yeah.
got Jonathan Martinez -162, Rojo +130. Not to go the distance. Plus, it's even money.
Are we taking
Yo,
that?
you giving me a double up to start the night?
Bro,
I think that's
What is
it.
it?
Like,
We got to come up
plain
with a
simple.
term for when we decide that the first fight of the night's not going the distance.
I know.
We got to come up with a bet for that. Because, like, this
Like
is
the
that
quick
card.
starter.
first
Yeah.
bet.
Quick
Oh, yeah,
starter.
quick starter.
Yeah,
Quick
this is
starter.
this is the quick starter card.
Yep.
100%.
100%. I love it. Next fight. What do we got?
We got Dolce
We don't know who wins, but that's all we know on that one.
We got
Gun to my head, I'm taking Jonathan Martinez, but I'm not confident.
all right. Next fight, we got Dolce Lagumbula, 11-2 out of the Congo, taking on Marc-Andre Barral, 12-4 out of Canada in the 185 division. I mean, these guys are going to come forward and throw bombs just like the last fight.
Yeah,
like,
I looked at this.
Marc-Andre
I don't remember
Barral
these
is a
fights.
savage.
I don't remember
Like,
these guys. For some reason,
I like Marc-Andre Barral a lot, but I always throw out the disclaimer because I want to be honest with it. I do blindly bet Canadian fighters. Shout out Nanny Rose. Like, that's my grandma's from Canada. I always support Canadian fighters, and this guy's a sick fuck. So it scares me because, like, getting in the cage with a savage like this who has power, like, he's 100% going to give him opportunities. Like, somebody's going to sleep. This is another, like, I mean, if the
the
quick
fact that he's Canadian,
Maybe-
he's getting knocked out. I'm going with the other guy.
yeah, Dolce's a unit.
Dalter's definitely a unit. Barrio coming in at -162 favorite. Dalter's going to be a +130.
Fuck out of here. Marc-Andre Barral, 3 fights lost and then got 1 dubs. You think he's going to take out Dolce? Not a chance. Beating a lot of people I've never heard of. Dolce, I think, is probably a big favorite. Did you just say the odds in him high?
Yeah,
Yeah,
What are they?
Dalter's +130.
Ooh,
I'm taking it.
-162.
I'm calling that cap. That does not seem like the right odds to me.
I think it's just like I think that's one of those Vegas and fan things where more people know Barrio.
On some Sam Alvey shit.
Right. Like he shouldn't
That's
be,
fair.
He shouldn't be the favorite. I mean, I'm not gonna hammer this fight for sure.
No.
But
The next fight that I may hammer, though, Charles Jourdain, 11-3 out of Canada,
Oh,
taking on Julian Arosa,
This is gonna be a-
25-9.
Oh, I'm
150.
not touching this.
Yo, they're fighting at 150, which is interesting. Catchweight. I'm
This is
definitely
catchweight?
touching it. I have to.
Who the
This
fuck
fight's going to be
wins?
chaos. I have no idea, but I have to bet it somehow.
I think this fight
Right?
goes the distance. They're both tough as fuck.
I don't
I
know
know.
if it goes the distance.
I could see it being
I-
a slow.
I'm actually-
fucking fest
I'm
going the
sneakily
distance,
with Matty P. This is the fight that you think is going to go the distance.
And
It makes
multiple
so much
times,
sense, and we're gonna all be like, No way.
Nah,
or
dude.
you take your guy.
It's not. I'm taking Arosa, and it's not going the distance.
Wow.
It's
It
not
should,
going the
but
distance.
these two guys are so tough that I could see it going 15 minutes. And you're getting plus 150 on you going the distance, minus 200 on it not going the distance. It shouldn't go the distance,
No.
and that's why it will.
Yeah.
That's why it will, because these guys, there's going to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 moments in this fight where you're like, oh, fuck, he's done,
No.
he stumbled, oh, shit.
Arosa's gone 9 losses, only 2 by decision.
And this may
He's
be
getting
good.
finished. Like, someone's getting finished.
And this is one of the better fighters he's been in the cage with.
Yeah, I actually think
Charles or
Jourdain-
Jourdain's got some slick shit.
I think Jourdain's gonna win a decision.
Jourdain's actually, which these odds,
But I like Arosa better. I want Arosa
I
better.
actually want y'all to guess the odds. Like,
I think Arosa's
what do you think
favorite.
on this?
That's
Arosa
Van Maren.
minus
Pick 'em.
170.
You think Pick'em, you think Arosa minus 170.
Yeah.
Charles Jourdain is a minus 200 favorite.
I thought he
Arosa
would
plus
win.
160.
I think he'll win.
I thought it was going to be a slight favorite to Jourdain or like close to Pick'em, kind of like you said. I was shocked with him that big of a favorite. I mean, a little more experience, but Juicy J's been kind of on a tear. Like, you can't sleep on this cat. I mean,
No, and that's why
I'm
it's a
so
great
excited
fight.
for this fight, but this is the complete love it as a fan, hate it as a gambler fight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
And that's why I might sneakily
But
take
I
that
love it.
decision.
I lately have been taking decisions on these types of fights. It's so much
Mhm.
better. I did that with D-Rod and Kevin Lee and won it because instead of being like, fuck, I had to pick a side.
Well,
what do I think?
my problem is when the fan side of me gets so high, then I want to gamble, and
Yeah.
that's what fucks me.
But then
Right.
you should know if you're feeling
Right.
those emotions, oh no.
But that's
the
that's
coming.
what honestly, thank God for the odds that scared me off because back to my rule of the last fight, I blindly bet Canadian fighters. So I would gut if you had to pick a fighter, I'm gonna pick Jourdain. But like it scares me to bet against Arosa. Like
I think Jourdain wins a close decision.
Well,
I
talking
think he's
about
gonna be a
fighters,
little more
you
crisp.
talk about fighters you from countries you
In the
blindly
first
bet
two.
on. I'm that way with Wales. So Jack Shore from Wales, 14-0, taking on Ludwig Shelinian, 9-1 out of Ukraine in the 135 division. I will blindly take Jack Shore in this fight.
I think I will too. I don't know what the fuck's going on, so I'm gonna just take him.
Ludwig's coming off the Ultimate Fighter and getting a shot here. He was on Team Ortega, and I didn't.
Oh
think he was
yeah, I'm
very
taking
Yeah.
the fucking other guy.
That
Yeah,
guy's
Jack-
Are the odds
Jack
fucking
Shore's gonna.
ridiculous?
It's
Yes.
probably. Yeah, it's probably a
Oh,
last
no.
minute fight.
Never
Hold
mind.
up.
Here's the
Hold
problem.
on.
Oh
Let's see
no,
if there's a
this is the
cancellation.
don't take the biggest.
Yes.
card.
Jack Shore was supposed to fight Saeed Nurmagomedov. That's a
And now it's gonna
completely
be
different
a
fight. That's a
banger.
completely different fight. We have to factor that in.
And now they're gonna run that back in 2 months when Jack Shore's 15-0. But every time you think that way and you talk about a minus 560 favorite, minus 560, and doesn't like Ludwig spelled wrong sound like the guy who's gonna fuck up all the
minus
plans?
560 is okay. It's after the 700s to me. Is
Yeah.
where it really breaks that level. So I think this is fine.
Yeah, 500 sometimes where it's just like they just know he's gonna win. Like it's not like disrespectful. It's not like oh shit, watch out for the upset. Like it's just
It's the real guarantee.
Yeah, it's we're not gonna let you win money.
What's
off
Jack
this.
Shore inside the distance?
Jack Shore inside the distance by finish
Yeah.
on the Boston Sportsbook. That's where you can actually get your value. Minus 106.
Wow, I will take that.
That jumps that.
I'm taking that. He's going to smash this guy with ground and pound. Jack Shore is way too much.
Yeah, way too much.
He's got more
Yeah.
fights, a better, like, all around.
He's way
I
too
think,
much for like
I
every
just wonder
guy
if this
also
guy's
fucking-
only a tough enough wrestler to hang.
no, but
No.
this fight I look at is being sort of close, right? And then you start breaking it down. What are these guys good at? Jack Shore's an aggressive wrestler. Okay, who's got more experience? Jack Shore. Who's
Right.
been more dominant in their fights? Jack Shore. It just all starts to add up when you break it down, leaning Jack Shore.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm going to take him in the inside the distance.
heavy.
Or heavy by finish because that's your best odds. What are you going to take him to win? Of course he's going to win. I mean, it's
And
a fight,
if you
but-
really want to get crazy with it, Jack Shore by KO, TKO, or DQ plus 350. If you think you can get him on the ground and pound,
Yes.
submissions plus 180.
Nah, I like the ground and pound.
I don't fuck around with that.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if you want to get crazy and you're really trying to get some juice, I would think that that's something that like you said, take the inside the distance. That's where you're taking it heavy. And then if you want to get the little sprinkle on like a plus 350, maybe throw $5-10 to juice it if you really think he's gonna ground and pound it. I could see that because I think he could be the elite style wrestler where it's like Ludwig's not gonna just give up his back or his neck, but he might be good enough to advance the positions to top mount. And now it's just like
if you're getting your ass beat too much, you'll take the neck. You'll just like take the neck.
just give up the neck and then he just
So you don't
slips
get
it
your ass
down
beat
and it's over.
See, on the other way of like, I think his submission defense and he's a sick fuck will be so good, and then it'll just be too many shots that the ref will have to stop it. Like on the flip side of things. But are we done with this fight?
Yes, sir.
So
All right, so we got Jiyong Kim, 9-3-2 out of South Korea, taking on Molly McCann, 10-4 out of the UK in the female flyweight division. Interesting little tidbit on this fight. I seen Molly McCann walk out the ring and was like an arm's length away when she had that disgusting like meatball.
No way.
Yo, that shit was nasty, bro. Because I was sitting at that event and it was cage side right by the exit door. So she came out right away and it was just like a fucking softball growing out of her eye, and I was like, yo. She was like, like coming down, like, what's that? Like, just didn't give a fuck. And I was like, yo, I kind of like Molly McCann.
Well, no, I lean her. Instantly when I saw this fight, I was like, Molly.
Yeah.
And I looked at it, and I still lean Molly, so I don't know. But I'm not going to touch it.
Yeah, I was like, I pretty much have two takes on this fight. I bet on Molly Meatball McCann, and the other fighter has 2 draws. I can't bet on someone who has 2 draws. I'm not saying I didn't watch those fights. I'm not saying they were bullshit decisions. I don't know if they were a point taken away.
You're just the type of person that gets 2 draws.
Yeah. If you're telling me Meatball, 2 draws. I'm taking Meatball every day of the week and twice on Saturday. That's it.
All right. Next.
Anything from Nil?
Yeah, I got Jiyong Kim.
Oh, wait now.
What are the odds?
The odds are actually very close.
Yeah,
Jiyong Kim's a minus 125 favorite.
Yeah.
Even money on
that
Meatball.
shit.
You're giving me a good price on Meatballs?
I think she's too tough for her own good. And that's
anytime I've walked into a place and they have a good price on a meatball sub, I'm
well,
taking
if Molly loses, she's just going to get her ass beat on the feet.
Yeah.
So I got Jiyong Kim.
All right.
That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. I'm not touching it, but I would lean Molly. So just because I know her more. Not a lot of evidence here.
All right, next fight. We got Paddy Pimblett,
Yes,
16-3 out of the UK in the lightweight division, taking on Luigi Benderini, 9-2 out of Brazil.
Paddy's going to scrape this dude.
Yeah, I think Paddy Pimblett's legit, and he's got one of the most electric walkouts that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's like techno music, but he just like sprints to the cage.
And he looks like a fucking
idiot.
A wild man. I don't know what he looks like. He literally looks like a wild kid that like you found that never had a haircut by a regular person.
Yeah, he's honestly kind of one of those like, especially since he's from England, he feels like some like Matilda type like orphan or something that just like was in the streets and then was beating some ass, and then like some rich guy was like, "You should be fighting, kid."
Yeah.
Like brought him to a gym and like.
Who were the last 2 people to simultaneously hold the Cage Warriors featherweight and lightweight belts?
McGregor and was it Till?
Nope.
McGregor's not gonna hold a featherweight.
Oh wait,
Derek Till.
what were the weight classes?
Featherweight and lightweight. Who are the last 2 people? You guys tripping me? Paddy Pimblett.
Oh, Paddy Pimblett. Yeah.
Paddy Pimblett, McGregor are the last 2 people.
I thought you were saying
simultaneously
not
hold.
I thought you were saying
I know
before Paddy Pimblett. Shit, I knew that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry.
But yes, Paddy Pimblett is the only one since McGregor to hold both belts.
They're the only 2 people to simultaneously hold them shit.
That's why I'm kind of actually buying his hype, because I obviously have heard about it. You've seen the weird videos and the stuff with Till and everything. Like, and part of me kind of wanted to think like, oh, he's just like the next like. Almost like what's the idiot in McGregor's camp, the jiu-jitsu guy,
Dylan Dennis.
Dylan Dennis. Like at first, I thought he was a Dylan Dennis,
but
he's taken his licks, and he's done honestly the exact thing that like me and Nil have laid out before of what you should do as a fighter.
Yep.
You fight in a lower but good promotion, like a Cage Warriors or
LFA,
like LFA, like one of these things that are known
CFFC or whatever
where
that
you
shit
get
is.
CFFC, Titan, like Ryzen, like there's places that you can be seen, and you take your licks, and you get your fights, and you get your experience
And
there,
bounce back.
and you also find a way to market yourself before you even show up.
Correct.
And he's checked all those boxes. Now, is he problematic? Was there something about that?
Yeah,
Probably.
he might be.
A bit.
I don't want to say it.
Okay, we don't have to get into that side because
Yeah.
I don't want to be all in on this guy if I'm picking the wrong side.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I'll say it. This is on me. I'm in on the guy. He hasn't. I follow him. I've been following him. He's a line very close crosser person.
Yeah.
But I feel like the intent isn't there.
Yeah.
He's still a good person.
It's because he's kind of
It was
stupid.
kind
in a
of
sense.
racist, right? Like it was a racial thing.
Well,
And-
it was
I mean,
more like you
can-
weren't born in this country. Do not represent the flag.
Okay,
So, like,
that's what it
take
was. It was
that
like a
how you
nationalist
wanna-
type.
yeah.
And you know
So
what?
it's
I
bad,
don't
but
think
it's
he's
not
very
bad.
smart, but I think I can live with something like that. Like, hey,
I
you
don't
were
know.
born here.
There's a
like,
lot
you
of
don't
fighters that have
represent
said a lot of stupider shit.
Yeah, a
I
lot
still
of
fuck with
Okay,
him.
and you know what? I just wanted to get that passed before I like completely hop in on him, and then 3 days
Well,
later,
and it's
I'm
like a lot of
cancel that
times
quick.
these kids, like, how old is he? In 19 or something?
Yeah, 19, 20, and you give him a bunch of money, and he's knocking people
But
out.
see,
And
this is why to me he's on the right trajectory. I think he's going to do very well in the UFC. Obviously, time will tell. But to me, when you fight someone like Cameron Else in your 5th fight, yeah, you take a loss. But guess what? You bounce all the way back, beating Julian Erosa. Then you lose to Nagnir Amini, like Stevie Ray. You take licks from quality opponents
Right.
in other promotions, and then you also beat quality opponents
you
in
learn.
Erosa, and you learn and evolve and mold, and that's exactly.
Because how
Look
many
at Yuri
times?
Prochazka. Look at it didn't work out for Manel Kape, but that's a similar style. Like there,
And it's actually kind of funny, especially
you
that
don't
we
come
brought
over
up.
9-0.
Especially
That's
that
the
we
worst
brought
thing
up,
you can do.
especially that we brought up the McGregor era. It's kind of funny that this almost bookends an era that I was kind of thinking about, where it was almost like when McGregor was coming up, everyone wanted to be the viral guy to be 6-7-0 in the UFC and get a title shot. And now, as you look around the UFC, who are the guys who are actually doing damage? The
Right when
Dustin
they come
Poiriers, the Charles Oliveira,
Even Michael Chandler.
Michael Chandler, like the
took
guys who
licks.
have taken their licks, they've taken L's, they've worked it out, but they've found their way to perfect their craft, and now they're fucking here, you know. And I've said it in the UFC, the brightest stars, you know, burn the quickest, and you don't want to be one of those guys in the UFC because a 5-fight contract and then going to bare knuckle fighting or something ain't the
Yo,
fucking
shout
right.
out Kenny Florian for that take. One of the first fights I ever fight cards I ever truly watched start to finish. Like maybe 10 years ago. He was one of the second fights of the night, and he's the best path to the UFC is to take your legs somewhere else. And I always just thought of that, and then it just started molding in my head, and it just made more and more and more sense. And
Yeah, because it's like everyone is going to see you on the big show. So if
Right.
you took your licks before,
Right?
Yeah, that's
what
what
makes
makes me.
on here.
That's what makes me confident in Pimblett, but we've gone on long enough about him. What the fuck do we think of the Italian stallion Luigi Benderini, who's got a Brazilian flag on his
Nah,
on his
man.
bio.
I saw his last fight and I'm out.
Yeah, I was like, this is the cat that
he won a majority decision. Jeez.
I
So
thought
that's
he
a
lost.
split.
no, he
Oh, he
lost,
lost
to
by
Perez
majority.
Zayn
Sorry.
Yeah.
to a majority decision.
Yeah, he
it
lost
was a
that
split.
fight, and I was like, "Oh my god!" That fight was horrible. I won't. bet
Yeah,
either
because
of
that
those
was
guys.
on the Adesanya.
Bro, this
Vittori
cat's
fight.
9
They were
and
trying
2.
to.
This cat's 9-2.
It's not
Pimblitt's
enough.
got
They were
way
really-
more
Yeah,
experience.
it's not
Yeah.
enough.
They
That's
were
the
really
point.
trying to.
He's gonna dust a guy like Venderini. When if you come in 7-0 right now, Venderini might be the guy to end it.
And I know,
that ain't this.
and I don't know how
And
much.
UFC wants to have Paddy eat, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
They're setting up fights.
They
for a
want him
reason.
like
And
I
let's
can
be
beat
real.
anyone in this game. I'm telling you, they
Yeah, they
want him
want
post
that.
fight. They want that shit.
and
Like,
let's be
one
real
of the best
too.
in the world.
With
fucking-
I don't know how much this
Like,
actually matters,
That's on
but
betting him until.
Yeah,
think-
exactly. I'm big on that.
I was gonna
Scousers.
say,
Is
I
that
don't
a
know how
racist
much
thing
it
to
really
say?
matters,
What?
but I do want to think
hope
I think
it's
the
not.
situation, the moment, them, how they built it up, it does matter. And this fight is built up for the Scousers and the fucking Europe. So this is set
Yo,
for
is that
But-
an offensive word?
What?
Scouser?
I don't know. I'm gonna keep using it. I'm a Chelsea fan. I'm a Londoner.
It's like what you do to describe people from like Liverpool area.
Yeah, so basically
that are like
Liverpool
Irish,
and
English,
Irish
like immigrants.
fuck.
Yeah, that's like a
So
scout.
I'm an Irish.
I don't know if that's like offensive,
Yeah,
but that's just like.
I'm an Irish fuck, and I'm a Chelsea fan, so I'll defend. I'll get my defense from the Londoners.
Hey, I'm just throwing that out there. I don't fucking know.
But anyways, with
It's
that,
all right. They don't have guns over there.
That's
why.
I'm kind of out on Benderini because his last opportunity, the Italian Stallion, was set up perfect on the Vittori card. Like that was his moment. And he boofed it in a trash decision, trash fight.
Wait, aren't they both the Italian Stallion?
Huh?
We should have bet against that.
Yeah.
They're both the
family's
Italian
going
Stallion. The whole family's going down. We should have bet against both of them.
How did we not
like,
that?
With this. All right, we're done with this.
But
right?
I'm surprised. I thought Pimblett was going to be a larger
Dude, that's what I'm
favorite.
saying.
Minus
Put together, it's
152.
like almost plus two.
The only thing that scares me is I think he's going to end up in a lot of parlays. Now, speaking of parlays, I wanted to throw something out. Since you mentioned the Scouser parlay, what about this? And this we maybe tweet this out or maybe try to get in touch with some people back at the Barstool Sportsbook. Paddy Pimblett, money line. Darren Till, money line.
Yes, sir.
And then 8:30 on Sunday morning.
Oh, no.
Liverpool versus Leeds, money line.
I don't know shit about that. What is this? What is Leeds?
Liverpool is where Paddy Pimblett and Darren Till.
I know what
that's a separate bet. Don't
That's
bring
the
that up
Scouser.
on here. Don't
That's
bring
the
that up
Scouser
on here.
bet.
No, we're not doing
That's
that.
the ultimate Scouser.
Are they gonna win or not?
322.
I think
They should win. Like they're the much better team. Like they're minus 152 favorite. Like they should win that game.
Liverpool's one of the top 3 teams that could actually win the fucking league. Everyone else is way below them.
Top 4.
They're in the top 3 teams. There's 3 fucking teams. Chelsea, United, and fucking it's 4.
City.
All right, we're done. We're done here. We're on to UFC. Next fucking fight, dude.
Next fight.
My fucking boy, Khalil Roundtree, the fucking killer, 8-5 out of the USA, taking on Modestas Bukauskas, 11-4 out of Bulgaria, I believe.
How we always have it. Ding, ding, ding. Sneaky banger of the night. Like the sneaky fight of the
this
night.
fight scares me for Khalil. I love Khalil, and I could just.
He's one of my favorite
I
fighters.
could just see him losing a fucking game,
Oh,
and I hate it.
stop it.
I think Khalil's on
I
some
think
different
so.
shit now.
I don't know if he's on some different shit, but if his mind and his mentals and his chicken is right, he gonna come in there with some of the most elite electric Muay Thai I've seen in a UFC octagon.
Yeah, and
His Muay Thai is as clean as it gets from what I've seen inside the UFC octagon. And I hope we see that side of Khalil.
And
if
honestly,
we see that, he's going to put Bukauskas' lights out. If we see him fight maybe a little different, I think it could get a little ugly, and that's where
and I'll
Bukauskas has
say it
advantages.
from like a gambler's perspective. I think I'm gonna, as a fan, I think I might single bet this. I don't think I'm gonna parlay this fight much because I think this is a perfect opportunity that I really want to see out of Khalil Roundtree because if Khalil's gonna be an elite fighter, he's gonna be on his Muay Thai shit that he's had, his striking, his power, his dominance, his size for the division. And Modestas is a tough son of a bitch who's going to stand there and kickbox with you. And
if that's
if
his
you can
strategy,
do it,
he's going to sleep. Let me tell you that right now. If he wants to stand in front of Khalil Roundtree, he's going to bed.
and I'm not just saying like stand
going
as
to
a
sleep.
statue.
No, I'm not saying that either.
He's-
You want to trade a
He's a
bang?
guy
you're gonna-
who's going to trade and bang. I think that's Modestas' game, and he's a tough son of a bitch. So if I think it's
Khalil
perfectly
Roundtree was
set up,
able to deal with the D1 athlete of
It's-
Eric Anders like that.
but I don't think it's about the athlete.
Listen,
I think it's about the power and the strike.
I think Khalil is in a whole different place. Like, do you guys follow him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just seems like in life, like he is not.
About fighting?
Yeah. And that scares the shit out of me going
But I
into
wonder
a
if
fight
it's-
against someone
yeah.
like that. And I'm just saying, it's like, yeah, I know he used to be in a band and used to be on this whole other shit for hell. Because I listened to something, and he used to be in a band for forever, and that's how he traveled. And then he wanted to lose weight because he's like 300 pounds.
Yeah,
And
smoking a pack of cigarettes a day.
And so I'm like, maybe he's just a guy that gets really big into things, and then like maybe
And
he's
then
really
once he
into
loses
something else
the,
right now.
Yeah,
Like,
once
I don't
he
know.
loses the interest.
Yeah. So that's
But
what
I mean,
scares
it
me.
seemed like the last big interest was the Muay Thai in Thailand, and he was really committed to that. So you would think that he'd be then committed to
He lost
showing
to
Well,
that.
Marcelo.
I know
Marcelo is-
he's big with the clothing brand right now and doing
Yeah.
a bunch of stuff. So
Super champ, this is fire.
yeah, no, I know.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like, well,
pretty
maybe you're a little into the business right now, buddy. I don't know. But all I know is if you're fighting a motherfucker like that, you gotta be thinking about that guy. You can't be
All I
thinking
know is
about
he's back with Frankie
shirts.
in Vegas training again, so maybe getting him back with the boys.
He's back
Maybe
with
I don't
Frankie.
know.
Feel, yeah,
And
they're
that's
back in
the thing,
Vegas.
I want him to win.
new-
I like
it's
that.
like a new gym, but still your boy, so you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah,
I
And
want
maybe
him to
it just
win so
let-
bad.
Same
that's
here.
actually
This
that
is
might
one
be
of the few fights where I'm not betting with my
actually-
brain, but more my
that
heart.
might
I'm
actually
not,
be
like you
now
said,
that you
I'm not
told
playing
me.
a parlay.
Yeah,
Single bet.
Now that you told me that he's back with Frankie in Vegas, that's actually the perfect thing for Khalil Roundtree because he always needs a new thing, but he needs somebody old to kick his ass and tell him what the fuck to do, and that's
Yeah.
Frankie. But he's at a new gym; it's a new experience, few new coaches. I think that might be the right recipe for
You ever see him? You ever see
Yeah.
the sparring sessions with him and Tafa, Justin Tafa?
Oh yeah,
Them shits are
they
electric.
go at it.
But yeah, odds,
Dukakis is actually coming out a favorite.
I would-
Minus 157.
I would
plus
expect that, to be
125
honest.
on Roundtree.
like you said, like the mentals. I think Vegas got to factor that in as well. Like no,
Well, momentum's such a big deal. Where it's
Right.
like,
and the momentum's trending down for Khalil because of the added like, where's his head at?
And the amount of people that don't watch every year the training videos for Tiger Muay Thai like us three aren't as big of Khalil Roundtree fans. Just the casual UFC fans were like, hey, he's a guy who lost a lot, who disappeared for a while, who then came back and is, so we've seen some good, some bad. Like, you know what I mean? Like calling a spade, and we know that there's more to be seen and there could be more out of him. But I could see how a fan and a lot of gamblers are out on him and that can push the line against him. Like, because I think that's a big thing that, especially in
Yeah, when
fighting
the fight's
betting,
so close.
yeah, like how it opens and
Yeah,
that's something
I've
I'm
always.
trying to be,
That's when I first got into the sport. I was very interested.
that's something I'm
Let's see when the fight's
a lot
announced, what
more-
the odds are, and what
Yeah.
it is fight night. I used to love that
Especially-
shit.
I will
well,
say
momentum is a big deal with fights too. Like it's the head game because of momentum. Like if you lose 3 fights in a row, in your head you're kind of like expecting another loss. If you won 3 in a row, in
no
your
one
head,
can beat you in the world. You're the killer. You're the
yeah.
alpha.
So it's like
You're the
that
top dog.
momentum. Not only does it play a difference on the betting line, where it's like, oh, dude lost 3 in a row. Like, yeah, of course.
Right.
But also on the guy fighting that sucks. Like, so it plays an even bigger role with the betting. Maybe it's a momentum thing. I know Khalil isn't on a great streak right now, right?
Not the best.
All right, let's hop the next fight. Yeah.
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 We got David Zawada, 17-6 out of Germany, taking on Alex Morono, 19-7 out of the USA in the welterweight division.
This fight is the trick fight that was going to get me. I
What does that mean?
saw Morono beat Cowboy last time.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're walking me like a dog thinking, oh, he's going to beat this other brand.
He went through the gatekeeper.
Yeah, now he's going to beat this guy. Nope, this random guy. I don't know who this guy is too well, but I'm not falling for their tricks.
Zawada?
Zawada's going to knock out Moreno.
Yo,
He's going to finish.
He lost a split decision against Imavev.
yeah, Ramazan Ameev. This guy,
Ramazan Ameev.
his
Yeah, I thought
nickname
he won
needs to
that
be
fight.
The Holiday because his name sounds like The Holiday. It just
David
sounds.
Zawada.
No, Ramazan Ameev sounds
Oh,
like The
yeah.
Holiday.
Ramazan
That
Ameev, man.
The Holiday, Ramazan Ameev. He lost to The Holiday. So that's a tough fight. That cat's as legit as it gets.
Exactly.
Split decision.
This is another one kind
He's
of
gonna
rolling
finish him.
rolling it back to the first fight.
But
David
no, but this
Zawada,
is where
I-
they want you to think that
No.
Alex Morono, this is a trap, like fuck Cowboy, and then
They're
he
not.
comes through.
They're not double.
This is a-
no,
no,
they're
this
not-
is a
they're not-
reverse-
This is an Inception.
Yes, it is.
No,
This is a
it's
reverse
not.
to your fucking thought.
Alright, you
It
guys are
definitely is, bro.
you guys
Think
are
about it.
destroying my brain because I have no idea.
But
what
think
the
about
hell's
what he
going
said,
on
though.
right
It makes
there.
sense. Everyone's thinking
He
that
said-
Morono's the high piece because he fought Cowboy. So Zawada should win. But then if everyone's
No,
on
but
Zawada,
they know
Morono will win.
you're
See,
double
so it's
thinking it, so they're
fucking-
triple thinking it.
Let me say Let me give you my point. I'm trying to follow your Inception plot, and all that can run through my head is like the first fight. David Zawada just sounds like he
Someone's gonna
plays.
knock you out.
He sounds like a center back in the Bundesliga.
That
I think he
stinks.
plays for like Hoffenheim or like Wolfsburg. I think he's a center back for Wolfsburg,
Dude,
and I don't know how I feel about that.
Alex Morono gonna fucking this
No,
guy,
because
bro.
here's what
When
happened.
Alex Morono coming back, he's
No, no,
beating up all you motherfuckers.
This is about
This is a scary like minus 150. He's a minus
who's minus
148.
140?
Who?
Morano.
Let's go.
Oh, dude, this
Big-
is perfect.
Big Alex Morono.
Listen. This is what happens to me every time. I
like the
I
journey.
like a
This
fighter.
cat
I like
19
a
and
fighter. I like Cowboy. Let's say I like Cowboy. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, he's fighting this random dude, Morono. Oh, Marcelo whoops his ass. I'm like, okay, he was pretty cool. And then I follow him. I'm like, oh, I like this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna bet on him. And then the next guy whoops his ass. And this always happens to me. And I'm not following.
I'm in on the center back, David Zawada.
I'm in.
Sign him to Borussia
I'm not falling
Dortmund.
for
Fuck out of here,
Let's
fam.
go.
I'm not
We
falling
taking
for that.
Alex
I'm in.
Morono, dude.
I'm in plus
We-
115.
We taking.
I'm sorry. I'm taking fucking.
You
I'm
and
taking
Casper over there are taking him. You got nobody.
Man, fam, you do me like that. All right, next fight. We got Tom Aspinall, 10-2 out of the UK, taking on Sergey Spivak, 13-2 out of Moldova.
Well, we
This
all,
is a sick
we
fight.
all want Aspinall, right?
Yeah,
This is a
Tom-
tough one. I'm actually, because I sneaked
It was supposed to be Tom Aspinall against
He's the
Sergey
dude. He's like the
Pavlovich.
one that looks like a polar bear, right?
Oh, yeah.
You hear that? It was supposed to be Aspinall versus Pavlovich. Pavlovich had visa issues. Dropped out. They inserted Sergey Spivak.
See, I love Sergey Spivak. I really love this cat. Like, Tom Aspinall is definitely one of those guys that I'm like,
Isn't he
this
Canadian?
guy's a problem. No, he's
No.
English.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah, he's another
he's a
English guy.
problem.
I thought you had
So,
to bet him.
but- No. I don't have to bet him. But,
He's not Canadian.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But that's the thing.
This
I
guy's
like
gonna piece
Moldovan
Sergey
fighters.
Spivak.
Shout out MC Carrier.
Look at this run of form.
I went
Over
to
legit people, taking some L's already early in his career. This is exactly what I want to see out of a heavyweight. Like, he's going to piece him up. I feel
But
like.
I get scared of heavyweights on runs because you don't see heavyweights with long streaks.
Right, but I think this is where he catches him. He caught Andre Arlovsky in a choke, caught him by surprise just
I
because
know,
he
that
was
was a
slipping.
good one.
Just
And
because he was
Arlovsky
slipping by.
bitching about it too.
Well, he was pissed that he got caught in
Yeah.
That's really what it was.
I mean, don't sleep on Spivak though.
I'm
He's
not.
a
I'm not.
tough dude.
I'm really not. But
I'm
I just think
I'm not putting this
Aspinall's
fight
too
on
much.
anything.
I think Aspinall's
okay.
too much.
And I understand what you opened your commentary with. You said we all want Tom Aspinall, not we think.
Because the
We
other
want.
dude always is either a tough night out or proves me wrong every single time. And I don't like
Okay,
going against
I
him.
think
And he
Aspinall.
looks like a polar
I
bear.
think Aspinall, but by the thinnest of margins.
And
But I want Aspinall
I wanna
by a
know-
large margin.
Yeah.
since you guys
That
just
is the
said that,
difference.
speaking of a large margin, minus 240 favorite for Aspinall.
Whoa.
That scares me off. Give me the juice, plus 188. Give me the Moldovan fighters. Shout out MC Carrier in Vegas. They came to the fucking
No.
Usman Covington one with me. And ever since then, I've kept
Those
my
guys are
eyes out.
legit.
Those guys are the man. Ever since then, I've kept my eyes out for Moldovan fighters. And he's been by far the best one. Like, Sergey Spivak is a legit heavyweight. I think he's going to be – he'll never be a champion, but he's going to be a goddamn problem for everyone who wants to get there.
Damn, you can't just say that though. Like
All right.
you'll never be a champion.
No. I'm just
That
saying,
hurts
yeah.
the soul of people
Sorry.
if they ever did hear that.
That's
Which
true.
They
You know
probably
what?
don't.
I don't know if you can even
But-
understand English, but if Sergey Spivak's watching this
Fuck
podcast,
outta here,
thank you
bro.
very much.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Sit the fuck
He
down,
might-
man.
It
he
hurts.
might-
It
He
probably
might
hurts.
not get to that level, but I think he'll be a goddamn problem.
All right, yo, just sit down. We got a main event to talk about, dude. I don't know what you're talking about.
Sorry, I'm talking about the fighters'
No,
feelings.
him.
over here.
I'm with you, bro. I'm
Oh.
Matty P. Fuck you, dude. You're fucking dissing on the fighters' feelings, bro. Let's get in the main event.
I love Sergey Spivak.
We got Derek Tuchek's
He just
Brunson,
roasted the shit
22-7 out of the USA, taking on Darren Till, 18-3 out of the UK.
All right, this smells like I'm supposed to start betting on Brunson because he's on a run, and he just gets fucking leveled by Till, or he just loses a weird decision that's hella boring to Till because that's how the last 10 Till fights have been.
To be honest, I'm taking Darren Till in this fight because I think if he wins, it'll be more exciting than if Brunson wins. And this fight is so razor thin that I want to see action
You
in the
think
main
it's razor
event.
thin? I don't.
Yeah,
I think
I do.
Darren Till
I don't know if
has very
Darren
good
Till
takedown
can
defense.
stuff. I don't know if he can stuff him like.
I think
It's not
big.
about. It's not
he's
about the
very-
one. It's the chain wrestling
No,
Brunson.
you're right, but
It's not about one shot.
Till is very thick, big, and
But then if he has to worry about that, his hands are low. He's
I
been
think-
knocked out before. I was
no.
at the fight. He was knocked out. Like,
I
That
think-
probably weighs on your head a little bit.
yeah, because I was right there, and he just
but
and I was.
that's not Masvidal he's fighting with
I
Hank.
understand
But
that.
this is also the card that everybody wants him to win. It's all the
We
Euros.
wanted to win to
everything
fight
should-
fucking Adesanya. 'Cause
Everybody
that's like
wants.
No,
the
but
saying
quote-unquote
he's a
sexy
top-
fight.
No, but
Like,
guess what? Even if he loses, he's gonna fight fucking somehow Jared Cannonier next, and it'll still be he's gonna fight for the title.
But I'm just telling you, I think it's so close
This
that
is a
the
perfect
Derek
fight
Till's
for
the
him.
more exciting. Like if he
And that's
wins
the
this fight,
exact
it's
reason
more-
I'm betting Derek Brunson. I'm not in the business of betting against Derek Brunson right now.
Oh.
Derek Brunson.
But you were against Kevin Holland. You was against.
I
fucking-
absolutely was.
all
And I was
these
in
other
bad
fighters.
business.
I'm not
And I'm
flipping like that.
reinvesting my money back into the good business.
And that's why
I
you
ain't flipping
finally
like
lose
that.
it.
I ain't flipping like that. I'm going Terrence Hill all
You
day.
This
wasn't
is gonna
against
be-
Edmund Shabazian. You wasn't against fucking Ian Heinisch. Like, get out of here, dude.
I'm telling you.
You're
I'm-
telling
I'm-
me.
I'm back on the Derek Brunson thing. I think this is the exact, like we've talked about in 2021, when a story's supposed to happen, when the Euro guy's supposed to win on this card was built for Darren Till, when he's already talking about how there's only 3, dudes in the division that are actually on this level, Till, Whitaker, and Izzy. Like, everything's perfect for that. That's when a guy like Derek Brunson comes in and fucks everything up. And I'm not rooting for that because, it's going to fuck up the
I'm rooting
division.
for the knockout, and the best way for a knockout is fucking Darren Till.
Absolutely.
So
what
that's
do
what
I
I'm
want
taking
to
from
happen?
this fight.
What would I love to happen? What's
Is there
the
going to
best
be a
for
crowd?
Twitter?
Is there a crowd for this Sweet Caroline entrance? Because I gotta say, as someone who sat there in London for a fucking Darren Till Sweet Caroline entrance,
I would kill for that.
that was as good as it gets.
As a guy
So,
who's
like,
been
If there's not a
hundreds of
crowd
times-
for this, fuck. It wasn't as good as Fenway, but it was just as close.
Yeah.
It
Fenway's-
can't.
Listen,
Because
there's
it hit
no way
home.
Darren
Yeah.
Till is losing this fight.
I don't know about
There's a
that.
lot of
There's
ways.
definitely
He,
a
there's
way.
a lot of ways
He gets
could
fucking
lose this fight.
yo. That
He gets
what?
ragdolled.
That was a horrible tape, man.
I'm
What do
telling
you
you.
mean? Oh my god, dude, I'm done with this, bro.
Do
You
you
said
think I'm
there's
gonna?
no way.
Did you hear me when I said I may bet $350 to $400 on Darren Till and Paddy Pimblett together?
I mean, that's
No,
the
you
shitty
just
thing.
said there's no way he loses his
I
fight.
mean, all right. Obviously, it's
Okay,
a fight. They fight 100 times. He's gonna lose some, definitely.
Yeah.
but
But
you're heavy.
I'm being
Oh,
dramatic. I'm being
I
dramatic.
know,
but
I'm being
still.
dramatic for the sake of the fucking
I got you.
podcast.
I got you.
He's not gonna lose. He's
And
not
now
gonna
this
lose
is where I'm-
fight.
That
He already-
scares me.
Guess what? He already lost that one at home. He's already got that out the way. That's the biggest fear. Oh, I lost it at home. He got that out of the way.
Yeah. Maybe it's just because I've seen it that I'm like,
Yeah.
I
See, this is
I
the
want
tough
to be
thing.
in and I want to be from. But
I feel like I should be betting Derek Brunson, but I also want to ride the Scouser parlay with you.
I'm
So
right.
that's my problem.
hard.
let's ride the Scouser parlay.
Here,
Yo. That's
this
what
is
it is.
basically what it's going to come down to. If you come down, if
I'm
you
here,
come, if
for the
you're
fights-
here for the fights, I'm probably going to ride the Scousers.
dude, because it's gonna be. I haven't bet.
Nah,
that
because I'm
big.
gonna want to ride the Scouser. So I'll be even if he's not here, I'll
Bro,
be like,
I'm
yo,
never
bet the
gonna be here.
Scousers.
We gotta
Hey,
get Clark
facts.
here.
It's gonna be September
Yeah.
4th.
Clark
do
is
it.
gonna be here.
Let's
We
do
should
it.
do a live
Let's-
stream.
Yeah,
Let's
let's
do it.
live stream it. Let's
Yeah,
get
I'll
it.
go.
Big Scouser, we in the building. UK, what it do?
All
Yeah.
right, let's do it. Nice Titan fight
Skeet
card.
skirt, bang.
Live stream. See us on Saturday. Much love. We out. Woo.